What is up, people? Fario here from AwesomeDudes.com, and before you start with this video, just quickly, I wanted to tell you that you can go on my website here, AwesomeDudes.com, and then you can go under download free assets, and there you can download free assets. Now, these are commercial free assets. They are not assets for this tutorial. The assets for this tutorial, this dark cave, you can find, link is in the description below, so you can get them from that link. But these are other commercial free assets that you can use to develop your own games, and you have 3D assets, 2D assets, backgrounds, and whatnot, and I keep adding new and new stuff. So you should definitely check this out, and yeah, enjoy the video. So we have our player, we have his animations, we are moving the player, we are even jumping with him. What we're gonna do this time is we are gonna create an animation for our skeleton. So before we do that, I'm gonna go into our animations folder, and here I'm gonna right click and create a new folder, which I am gonna call skeleton animations. Because we have separated the player's animations in a separate folder, and now I'm gonna separate the skeleton animations also. Now, we saw how we can animate. We used the player and we went into the animation. We selected the player, we created the idle, created the walk animation. You saw all that in the lecture about creating the player and his animations. Now, there is another way how we can animate. And for that, I'm going to go into sprites and I'm going to select, let me just see, the enemy. So I have named the folder enemy, or the file enemy, which is our skeleton right here. And now I'm going to select the enemy. And I'm gonna go here into the inspector, and it's a single. So the sprite mode is set to single because, well, that's the default. If we want to count it or make Unity treat this as a sprite sheet, we do need to select the multiple and hit apply right away. And now I'm gonna go into the sprite editor and I'm gonna slice it. So when I click here, slice, we do need to watch one thing that we will have problems here. So notice it has sliced the body of the skeleton separate from his head. So what we need to do is we need to remove the collider or the slicer, or however it is named. I'm not sure how. So we need to remove this around the head of the skeleton. So simply hold Command and press Delete. On Windows, just press Delete. And now selecting the bottom one, which is around his body, simply resize it like this. And yeah, that's that. That is all that is it to it. That's all that is it to it. What am I saying? That's all that is to it. So I'm gonna remove here also the one from the head and also bring it up a little bit. And also select the upper one, which is on his head, remove it. And I am gonna drag the bottom one above his head just so that we slice the head and the body in one. Also, I'm gonna remove here the head, of course, that is being sliced. And now I am gonna resize the bottom one that is on his body. So again, doing that same here. Let me just put it back. I just moved it a little bit. I did not want to do so. And here again, unfortunately, sometimes we can avoid this. Unity slices it like a whole. Sometimes it doesn't. But because the head is a little bit separated from the bodies, you can see here, it is a little bit separated. It counts, or Unity counts this as two images. So I don't blame Unity. I blame the drawer. So yeah, my designers, okay, you're fired. Just kidding. I told them to do it like this. Anyways, this is how we can fix it. And now I can hit apply and we are good to go. So let me just close this window. And now we have the enemy, which are all of his animations right here that we have, 8, 9, 10, so on and so forth. So I'm gonna select all of them. Select all of these animations. So from enemy 8 to enemy 15, depending on the numbers that you have, since we have deleted some of the colliders, or we have deleted where it is being cut by default. So I'm simply gonna select all of them and I'm gonna simply drag them here in the scene, which will automatically prompt me to create the animation. And I'm gonna select it here or store it in the animations folder, skeleton animations. And here I'm simply gonna say skeleton walk animation. I'm gonna hit save and here it is. We don't see our skeleton because we do need to set him on the enemy sorting layer. So we need to set him on the enemy sorting layer, and that's the reason we did not saw him. Now, as you can see, the skeleton is a little bit larger, not a little bit, a lot bit, if that is a word. Okay, a lot bit is now a word. So he is larger than our player. So what I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna select him in the hierarchy and rename him to skeleton. And now I am gonna go in his scale for the X, I'm gonna set it at 0.65, and I'm gonna do the same thing for the Y. So 0.65, 0.65. If I were to run the application, now we're gonna see skeleton and his animation. Notice how the skeleton is moving, and he will be animated all the time. So his animation is not gonna stop because we don't need the idle animation for him. We only need the walk animation, which will make him walk, as you can see here. So this was another way how we can create animations and so on and so forth, which I already mentioned. So what we are gonna do in the next video is that we are gonna make the skeleton move, but the skeleton is gonna have a little bit AI. AI means artificial intelligence. That means that he is gonna be able to determine on his own where he is gonna move, when he is gonna move left and right, and so on and so forth. So all of that we're gonna see in the next video, and catch you then, guys.